Hi, all. Welcome to part 2 of my Tokyo journal. Today I'm going to show you kind of what I'm going to be using in my journal besides all the ephemera that we just sorted through. So first up, I'm going to be using the Tokyo Travelers Company notebook that I bought. So as soon as I knew we were going to Tokyo, Japan, I grabbed this. It was hard to find, but I did manage to find somebody in Canada who sold it. And I will put her name down below because I can't remember. It was from someone in Saskatchewan who sells a lot of the Traveler's Notebook stuff. So if you're Canadian, I will put her name down below. So I got this, and then when I was in Tokyo, I knew I was going to try and find a charm to go in the middle of the book. So something to hang off this elastic. So I knew I was going to try and find something while we were there. And this comes with this notebook here, the Tokyo Traveler's Notebook, and it is quite a few pages, but I'm probably going to stick the pages together just because otherwise, if you add a lot of paper and stuff like that, they get a little bulky. So I probably will end up sticking these pages back to back and using a second notebook. So I'm thinking there's going to be two. That's why I already have one in here. That I'm going to be using for this trip. I'll probably need two because I have quite a bit of ephemera, as you saw. And then I also got the Tokyo stickers that come with the Travelers Company Tokyo collection, so that she also had the stickers, so I grabbed those, so I'll be using those. And then I have a spare book if I need it, but I don't think I will. I think I'll be able to get it in two. So that's going to be the main book for the Tokyo. And then when I was in Tokyo, I went to the Travelers Notebook Company store in the Narita airport. They have a store. So I went there and I grabbed some stuff as well. Now there should be two of these little, they had one of those, gotchicons are everywhere in Japan, so they had those little gotchicon things, and I grabbed two of them, but I'm not sure where the second one is. I'll see if I can find it. But you get these little buttons. So this one just says Japan Sushi Travelers Factory, so that's one of them that I got, so I'll use that for sure. And then this is the tag that I got. So I got this tag, and it basically just says Japan and has a little picture. I'm going to hold it closer to the camera so you guys can see. So it's got Mount Fuji with an airplane. It says fly to the world from, fly to the world from Traveler's Factory, made in Japan. So that's what it says, with a little Mount Fuji Traveler's Factory and a little airplane on there. So I grabbed that one just because it had Japan. It was one of the only ones that had Japan, and even though it's not, this is like a silver color, it's going to be great. So that was just a brass tag made at a press factory in Japan. So I grabbed that, so I'm going to add that onto this book. And while I was there, I grabbed these are just postcards that I'm going to use kind of as flip outs. So the first one is this one here, and I thought it'd be really fun just to put some pictures on the back. So this one basically just says, hello, I am a traveler, have a nice trip. This one is more of like a generic one, but you can add the date. I just thought that was really cute. So that's the first one I got. And then I got this one, which is, you know what, I'm going to take it out of the packaging just so it's not so shiny. This one is the Traveler's Factory Japan Travel Guide. So it kind of just talks about a few things in Japan that most people end up doing, like the temples, Mount Fuji sushi, onsen, all that kind of stuff. So I thought that was kind of cute. Again, just plain on the back, so I can add some photos. And then this one is the Narita airport. So that's where their Traveler's Notebook store is. So it talks about the Narita airport and kind of just basic information. I thought I could use that for either when we arrived at Narita, but I'll probably use it for the day that we left, because we ended up doing a bunch of shopping at the mall there. They have a big mall at the Narita airport, which is great. Why all airports don't do that, especially international ones. Come on, get it together. because it was nice having somewhere to just go and shop. There was a Lego store, there was like Muji, there was so many stores. Anyway, so I got this one just because we did do a lot of shopping, especially for the Traveler's Notebook stuff in the airport. And it just kind of talks about like many kinds of cars are working at the airport. The principal product of Narita is peanuts. The runway is 4,000 meters long, about 2 minutes. One flight leaves every 2 minutes. It's a big airport. That's probably why they can afford to have the store there. So I grabbed that one as well. So just a couple of postcards that I could add as flip-ins. And this I got free. So when I went to the store, they were just happened to be having a stamp rally passport. I don't know if you know what that is, but they had one in Vancouver a little while ago, and you get stamps there. So they had all their stamps out. So I got all the stamps that were at this store in my other book. And they gave me this as well, which was basically if you went to all the stops in Japan, Kyoto, Tokyo Station, Nakamura, and Narita Airport, then you would get a stamp. But we only made it to the Narita Airport ones. So I only got that one stamp, but I'm still going to add this. And then they just gave me a business card. So I thought that was really cool because that's a good thing to add into a junk journal. I grabbed the baggage tags that are all Japanese themed. Let's see how we can open this. I just want to do it carefully so that I can use this ephemera. So sticker for baggage. So this is, they say it's for your baggage, but I'll be using it in my book. So that just says fragile, and I'm not sure what that other blue thing is supposed to be. And then we have trip to Japan, have a nice trip with the Mount Fuji. Another one, Travelers Company, have a nice trip. This is trip to the world from NRT Airport. So again, Narita Airport. And then this one is, again, fly to the world from NRT Airport. So again, we're at the airport we were in. Travelers Hotel, have a good day. Have a nice trip flying with Travelers Airlines. This one's kind of cool. It's like a plasticky, yeah, that one's cool. Special handling. So these are like the tags that you would get on your luggage. Tokyo, Japan, Travelers Company. I love this one. Baggage fragile, handle with care. So I might put this on one of the airport days. Hello, I am a traveler. Keep on traveling in your mind with Traveler's Notebook. Have a nice trip with Traveler's Notebook. And thank you for flying with Travelers Airline, Traveler Factory Airport. So just some cute baggage. If you wanted to put them on your baggage, you could. But I will probably be using some of those in here. And then they also had this Traveler's Passport, which this is the passport size, not the size that I'm using. This is the passport size. But I got it just because it said fly the world from Japan. So this is like just a blank cream colored little notebook. And I'll see if I end up using it. If not, it was just more of like a little keepsake for me to grab from their store. And then the last thing I grabbed was this cute little package. So this came as like a package deal, all the things together. And I just loved it because I'm going to try and be doing more of kind of like journaling on the go, which I'm really bad at. I didn't do any while we were in Japan. So it came with another one of these little tags, which is fine. But it came with this cute little, this is a mechanical pencil and a ballpoint pen in one, but it's like super small. So I can't wait to try that. That's amazing. I don't know how you switch from pen to pencil, but I thought that was really cool. And it came with this really cute little, there's a sharpener in there, as well as these really cute little pencils. Like, look at how little those are. Perfect for traveling. Like, it's so small, this little package, and you can just stick it in your Traveler's Notebook. And you've got a pen, and you've got some colored pencils. So that's why I grabbed this little pack, because I saw these and I was like, those are awesome. So I have little colored pencils I can take with me and a pen / pencil. And then it also came with this cute, because I do have a passport size in the brown that I haven't used yet. So that's why I was okay buying this stuff. This is just the plastic insert so that you can keep things. This one's got a little zipper notebook so you can put stickers and stuff in there, and then just a notebook size passport refill, which is I think it's the paper's all this color. So that way I just have stuff too that I can use with my other little notebook that I have not used yet. I bought the cover. It's just, I think, the camel cover. And I've just never used it. So I did want to buy some stuff so that I would use it. So I do have a couple of little notebooks now that I can use, as well as this little insert. So hopefully that'll get me using that smaller notebook. But for the Tokyo one, I will be using pretty much everything else that I got from there, adding this little charm here. And then my friend Stephanie just gave me a few little sheets of paper that she had gotten but never used. So this is a photo play paper crane, I think it's called. So basically it's a Japanese themed paper line, and like the beautiful paper crane. I just like that it's got these kind of wish, hope in Japanese lettering, and on the back it's just got a bunch of Japanese lettering, which I love. And then this paper is the cranes. Here, let's turn it the right way. So this is all the paper cranes. I love that one, just with a nice like pinkish color on the back. And then this one is like little Japanese dolls. This is called Konnichiwa, and some sushi stuff. So these will definitely get used as well. They're super cute. So I can definitely use those in there as well. And then I do have some just general travelish themed paper from Paige Evans and an old crepe paper collection. So I'll be using those as well. But mainly I think I'm going to stick with doing the ephemera and the stickers from this. I also bought some stickers from Loft that are Japanese themed, so I will use those in here as well. So for the first day, or the first part, this is going to be kind of the first day and the day we flew out. So technically it was 9 days, but Japan is 16 hours ahead. So the first day we lost a day. We left on the 24th of July, and we arrived there on the 25th of July. So we lost like a whole day traveling, which we gained back at the end. So technically 10 days, but it was only 9 actual days. So we're going to start though with kind of the beginning. So as I said in my last video that you saw, that I separated everything by date. So this is pre-trip stuff and July 24th. So there's not a lot. Basically it's just us getting to the airport and then taking off. So not a lot. I'm going to be using, my husband gifted me a HP sprocket just before we left. So this is, again, I was going to take it with me and try and do stuff there, but that just never happened. So it's very portable. You know, it's about the size of my hand, and it prints out 2x3 sticker sheets. So they're already stuck. You don't need adhesive, so I wouldn't have to take adhesive with me to stick these on, which is why I love this idea. I do have also the Instax, which I probably will be using as well. They're just kind of different to me. They're different like quality photos. This is more like photo paper. The Instax is more like the Polaroid, so it's kind of puffy, which I love. So I'll be using both of them probably in this project, but for the first one, I'm going to print out some photos from the airport with my sprocket, and it's really easy to use. I'm going to charge my other old phone so that I can use my new phone to show you guys how this HP sprocket works. So the first thing you're going to need to do is connect your HP sprocket to your Bluetooth, so just so your phone can send the information to the printer, and then you'll download the HP sprocket app and open it up and give it access to all your photos. And then for this first photo, we are going to do a little collage, which you can do right in the app, and you basically just hit select at the top right, choose your photos, so it does a little 4-photo collage. So I'm just going to pick 4 photos from the lounge, and then you're going to hit collage at the top left, and then it will come up with a little prompt. You just hit OK, and then it'll populate this little 4-photo collage for you. And then all you have to do is hit that print button at the bottom center. It sends it to the printer, so you'll see it kind of blink on the indicator there, and then it prints out the photo on a 2x3 photo paper, but it's a sticky photo paper, so you can stick it directly into your journals. So cute. So here's the little pack of the paper that you can get to put in your printer. It's 2x3 sticky photo paper. It comes in a pack of 20, and it is pretty expensive, just like the Instax. It's not cheap, but it ends up being really fun because you just peel and stick it and put it in your album. So I really love that feature. So I got this map. This is, I believe, American Crafts Adventurous Paige Evans. And on one side it's got the North America and Africa, and on this side it's got Asia. The only thing is Japan is just this very like small part right here. So I'm going to use this piece of paper, cut it to the size of my traveler's notebook, and just make sure I keep as much of this edge of it as I can. So I'm thinking I will use this as a pocket for the stuff I don't really want to show. And then I think I'll put the boarding passes, hopefully like this, with this on this side, and then this on this side. So it'll cover up a little bit of this page here, and I'll basically just fold this so it covers both the pages, and that will be kind of my page 1 showing our destination. I'm going to put a little sticker or something here just showing where we're going, and then this will be in this pocket here. So let's go ahead and glue that all down. I did buy, I've been wanting one of these for a long time, so while we were at Loft, I bought one of these clips that holds open the book. So again, I'm probably going to do a little bit of a junk journal with the leftover ephemera that I have, something like this. So I am going to keep it, and I'm going to give it a go and see how this works. So hopefully it'll hold it open better for me as we're doing this. So first, let's get some glue and glue down that paper. I think sometimes too, the hardest thing to do when you're doing any sort of documenting, memory keeping, journaling, the hardest thing to do is the first step, because you don't want to ruin your book. You don't want to, do anything like that. So it becomes really difficult to do the first thing. So you just have to embrace it and do it. And you know what? If you don't like it, it's not that big a deal. You can change it. You can put something on top of it. I'm using a really thin Sukwang tape because I want to make this into a pocket. So I'm just going to put it along the 3 edges, like this. And then I will cut down these if I need to a bit of a smaller size to fit inside this pocket. Again, I use Sukwang pretty much for everything that I do. It's the only tape I've found so far that will actually keep everything without falling apart. So this is going to go on that side there. So I'm just going to glue this down. Again, anytime you're using any kind of glue, my suggestion to you is always burnish, 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 because that's what activates the glue so that it sticks better. So we're going to lay this down, and I'm just going to lift up the page so that I can get it lined up perfectly. And like I said, I've left a little bit of a gap because the closer you do it to the inside of this book, the harder it's going to get as it gets chunkier and chunkier to close. So I always kind of leave a little bit of a gutter in between the pages, just because then it closes better. Now this one's going to be just put right down onto the paper. So we're going to use the thicker Sukwang tape, and we're going to kind of put it pretty much everywhere because we want to make sure this album, sticks really well. So we're going to put quite a bit of tape on these papers. And I probably won't use paper on every page, but I wanted to start this off with this map because I bought this map specifically for this trip because I saw that it had Japan on it. So sometimes the maps don't have the places that you're going, so you always want to check before you buy it that it's going to have what you want on it. Okay, so we're just going to stick this piece directly down into the book, and then I can put the clip back on. There we go. So we have that glued down. And now we have our two photos. We have this, which I might just fold to put in here. Fold that. This can go in as is. I'm just going to slip that in there. And then this should just slip in there as well. Flight information. So we're just gonna put that in there. We're gonna actually cut this one. We can cut down a little bit more. So we're just gonna trim off the edges there. All the information is still there. And you know what? Maybe let's see if we can do the same with this. Just because when it's folded, it actually has quite a bit of bulk, right? So let's see if we can get that. There we go. I'm going to stick this inside here just so it doesn't bung everything up. And then we are just going to slip that inside this little pocket. So we have that information there. Next, we're going to add the boarding passes. And again, I wanted to do the boarding passes probably across like that. So we are going to glue them down, and then I'll just crease them. So let's do, we're gonna put just on one side for now. And then once I have them creased, I will add the tape onto the other side. That's how I prefer to do it. You can add tape to all of it and crease it after, but then I find sometimes it doesn't sit properly when you do that. So this is how I like to do it. I just glue down one side. And I'm gonna just move mine over just a little bit. And then I'm going to put Michael's right over, just to give it a little bit more interest. I always find things like a little off kilter always look nicer. So we're gonna put tape just on this half again. And we're gonna put this one down a little bit like that. And then I know this sticker, so this photo sticker is gonna go on this side. So let's put that on there. So that's the one thing I love about these is these are gonna stick really well because the whole back part is sticker. So we've got that there. I also want to put this little zip air sticker on here. So I'm going to take off the rest of the backing. And we are going to add that. I think we'll put that right there. So again, either you make sure that it's like right into the crease and then put it down. Or I like to, at this point, we're going to push it in and fold it down, get a crease. And then if it looks okay, so it looks like you've got it in there okay, then you can go ahead and add some tape. I'm actually going to add it on the paper first, like that. And then we are going to do the same thing again, burnish, right? Make sure that tape is nice and burnished and that your page is going to fold nicely. And then if you want, you can add more tape just to the end, right? So I'm just going to actually just kind of rip this in half and stick it right on the end of the paper. And we'll do the same at the top. And then do the same with the other piece. The other thing I like about sukwaing tape is you don't have to cut it. Because otherwise you spend forever with your scissors cutting tape. You can just rip it. So there we go. Okay, so page 1 is almost done. It's still folding nicely. All we have left to do is put this photo on of my husband and I on the actual airplane. And I think I am going to put that so it kind of connects there. Okay, like that. Okay, so I found, this was an old stamp by Crepe Paper that I stamped a whole bunch of the airplanes. So I'm going to add the airplane, and then I found this, I believe in the Paige Evans collection. So I'm going to put that there, and we're going to put that. And then this is also from the Paige Evans collection, just says XOXO. And I'm probably going to put that maybe down there or maybe there. So we'll attach that first because I know where that's going to go. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive here. So that's just going to go kind of pointing to where Japan is, like that. And then I think I'm going to put the airplane up here, just like that, kind of in between the two boarding passes, sorry. So I'm just going to use that thin sukwaing again and put as much as I can on here, down the wings. This one's nice and thin, so it goes in a lot of places that the thicker one won't go, which is really nice because sometimes you really want to make sure it sticks. So this thin one is nice for these kind of little die cuts that you can't really use the thicker tape on. And I'm going to try not to use any foam tape or anything like that, because I don't want this to get too thick. So I'm going to try and not use foam tape, which I love the look of foam tape, but I don't want this to get too big. So we are going to keep this as minimal as possible while still being cute. So there we go. I think that's pretty good for the first page. That I want to put a journaling tag in here for all my journaling. I could use the big floral one, or I could use this one that says postcard. That one would be cute. And then I want to put like a little tab on there. That's why using this one might be good, but I'm worried it's going to just slip in too far. Yeah, it'll just slip down too far. So this one's a bigger size, and then I can put a tag on that and it would still stick out a bit. Cut it, so I'm just going to take a piece of this and turn it into a tab. It's super easy. You just want to cut as about 2, so I usually do it at about 1 inch and then fold it in half, and then however long that you want it to go. So we're just gonna freehand this. I want it about that big, and then you're gonna fold it in half. And then a lot of people use like a circle punch to make the little notches. but I am just going to use my scissors. So you just go in and make a little notch. And you can make the notches as big or as little as you like. There you go, there's your little tab. So I'm going to attach that on here with my tiny attacher once I find it. But I'm also going to put, so I usually do both when I'm doing a little tab like this. I put sequin tape on first, and then I find my tiny attacher, which I know is around here somewhere, and then I staple it on, just so that you're getting a really good hold, because tabs, if you're using them, you're going to pull them, right? That's what they're meant for. So you want to make sure that you glue them down really well. So I always do both. And I'm going to put it on this side here. About there will be good. Okay. So again, I want to keep my journaling personal. That's just, I have always done that with my scrapbooking online, because you know, you don't want people to know too much. I know I'm showing a lot with my boarding passes, but our trip has ended. So if they see that, you know, our gate and all that, doesn't matter because we're not there anymore. So I'm just going to stick this in here for now. I will go and do the journaling after. And that is page 1 done. Anyway, I hope you like this first page. I love how it turned out. I'm going to talk a little bit about the lounge that we stayed in, and then just the flight to Narita. Thanks for stopping by.